Hi, my name is Meghan Dziedzic, and if you had the chance to look over my resume, you would know that I'm a graduate from Michigan State University, and I'm currently completing my internship year through their teacher preparation program. I'd love to start out by talking about 3 important experiences that have helped me grow as an educator. The first experience was my time at MSU Safe Place. It's a domestic violence shelter on the Michigan State campus, and it's where I was able to provide childcare for the residents staying there. I learned a lot during this experience, but most importantly, I learned the difference between empathy and sympathy. I learned how to be understanding of a child and their situation, as well as their parents' situation. I learned how to use that to help them to the best of my ability and to provide the best care. And I plan on doing that throughout my whole teaching career as well. Next, I worked at a camp called Keystone Science School in Keystone, Colorado. During this time at the camp, I had a blast. I sent kids up mountains and we went on overnight backpacking trips. And during this time, I learned how to be flexible in unpredictable situations. We know the wilderness can be very unpredictable, and being flexible is important not only to keep your kids safe, but also to have fun. And I learned that this is important as a teacher as well. The classroom can be unpredictable, and being flexible for your students and your coworkers is so important. Last, I've had many field experiences through MSU. The first experience I had was in a kindergarten classroom. I then worked with first graders, and finally, during my internship year, I was able to spend this entire year working in a 3rd grade classroom. I spent the beginning of the year building routines and expectations and relationships with my students. I was able to conduct fall and spring conferences with my students' parents. And I then spent 5 weeks at the end of my time at Buchanan lead teaching every single lesson of the day. I learned so much from planning and executing every lesson, and I am so grateful I had that experience. I not only learned about what it is to plan a good lesson and teach a good lesson, but I also learned the importance of community and relationships. I worked with many different types of learners who were emergent bilinguals, learners who received special education services, as well as some of my students dealing with trauma. And those relationships and the community we built at the beginning of the year were what drove our classroom to success and what helped these learners throughout the day and what helped me as a teacher. Which leads me to why I would love to work for East Grand Rapids. It's apparent that your district strives itself on community, and it shines through in your website and on the newsletters and Twitter pages. Your sense of community is so apparent, and I would love to work for your district. It is not only your sense of community helping students academically, but you are also working to help students grow as a person and as a whole. You have a foundation of kindness and positivity that I resonate with so much. I learned this year about community, and I desire so much to work in a district that strives itself on that as well. Not only do I desire to work for a district like that, but I also feel like my strengths are in my sense of community and the relationships that I build with students. And I feel I can bring that to your district. Next, my favorite children's book. It has to be The Rainbow Fish. I read it as a child with my grandma and my mom, and I not only read it, but I also have the very book that my grandma read to me. And I was able to read that to my students this year. And it was so much fun seeing a book that I loved be read to the students and them love it as well. I not only want to just read it to my students each and every year, but I want to use it as a text to help teach what a good classroom citizen is. And the values of selflessness that come through in that book are so important. Lastly, why I'm the best candidate for this position. I talked about how I'm flexible and empathetic in my previous experiences. But I also want to talk about the passion I have for this career and this position. I'm so passionate about teaching and helping each and every one of my students. And I do that by reflecting on my craft and taking each and every day and seeing how I can be a better teacher for every single one of my students. I have a passion for this career and have always had a passion since the day I chose this career. I think I'm a great collaborator, and I plan on learning from all of my coworkers, and I really hope I can learn from your district. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.